Welcome back to A Simple Low Carb Life, Module 11. We're going to be talking about exercise in this video. And there's a lot of controversy and frankly just simply a lot of crap that you read online in particular about the magical properties of exercise. And if only that were true, we should all be skinny because exercising in the absence of proper nutrition really doesn't do anything to make us lose weight. Now, I know that that is a pretty charged statement, but let's discover why that is. So, what exactly is the role of exercise, or do you have to exercise at all in a low carb way of eating in order to lose weight? Well, we've all been taught that in order to lose weight, we have to go to the gym and beat ourselves up and do hours and hours and hours of exercise. And many people who still eat high carbohydrate diet don't lose weight at all and actually gain weight with all of that exercise. So what exactly is the role of exercise if you're in a low carb way of eating, or is there any? Well, let's talk about that. Exercise is an extremely helpful element of any healthy lifestyle for the following reasons, in part. It helps our cells to be more receptive to insulin signals, and so it helps to take away some of the insulin resistance that people who are overweight have. And you have less of a chance of developing diabetes if you exercise regularly, and also it improves your numbers if you do. It's a great stress reliever. The body produces endorphins, or you feel good when you exercise because of that release of endorphins. It also helps us to burn a few, and the operative phrase being a few, you see it in bold print here, very few excessive calories. It improves our blood pressure, it improves our cardiac output, it improves our muscle tone, mobility, helps us to move around more easily. Now, in all this list of things, we don't see here that it makes us lose weight, because indeed it does not by itself. So let's talk about that more. So, a very important point about exercise is, in the absence of proper nutrition surrounding what you eat, surrounding your exercise, exercise alone does not cause anyone to lose weight, and it certainly does not cause us to increase our metabolism in and of itself. And I'm referring mostly to cardio exercise, which we've been taught is the holy grail of making us lose weight. Now, I want you to stop and just think about that for a moment. If exercise alone caused us to lose weight, the gyms should be full of skinny people. Well, I don't know what gym you go to, but any gyms that I've been to, the gyms are actually full of obese people who are working out way more than I do and still not losing weight. So the point of that is the amount of exercise that's required to burn a significant amount of calories in order to lose weight would require hours and hours of vigorous, sweaty cardio exercise a day. And that endeavor would make us so hungry that we would eat excessively and undo all of that work. Well, indeed, that is what most people do because they've been taught that's what to do to lose weight. And frankly, in my practice, with treating a number of people with weight issues, one of the most challenging people to deal with are the overexercisers, and they do not lose weight. And the reason is they overeat once they exercise because they're timing their meals and their choices of food poorly. And we'll talk about that more in just a moment. Now, a friend of mine has coined this phrase, we cannot run faster than our mouth. And essentially, if you think about that, that is incredibly true. If we run and run and run and run and exercise and exercise and exercise, but we eat a bunch of crap after we exercise as some sort of a reward for all the work we've done, guess what? We are not going to lose weight. So let's go over a few little specific details on why that is. So here's a chart here about calories burned per hour. Now, per hour, remember this, per hour of consistent, constant, aerobic, sweaty exercise. And this is based on some study of a 125-pound person, but obviously no one is that's watching this video. But this is based on a 125-pound person. So if you weigh less, you'll burn less calories. If you weigh more, granted, you will burn some more calories. But the point is vigorous, aerobic, consistent, constant, not stopping, one whole hour of exercise. Okay? So pedaling on a stationary bike vigorously, you're going to burn 398 calories in 1 hour. Walking uphill carrying an extra 10 pounds, 415 calories. Rollerblading, and again, this is 1 hour straight without stopping, sweating the whole time, 426 calories. Aerobic dance, like Zumba for example, 443 calories. If you're jumping rope, if anyone could possibly jump rope for 1 hour straight, I don't know who can. I've met a lot of fit people and known a lot of fit people. I don't know anyone that can jump rope for a whole hour. But 670 calories is what you would burn. If you're swimming and doing the breaststroke, 585 calories. If you're a person that can do the butterfly stroke for 1 hour straight, more power to you. I've never met anyone that can do it, but you can burn up to 700 and some calories if you're doing that stroke. But breaststroke that's doable, 585 calories. Now, many clients and patients that I've had have this mindset that if they've exercised, then they get a reward. And the reward is something that is more calories than the 20-minute exercise that they just did. For example, let's do some popular snacks here. Cinnabon. Well, we all know that's high in calories, but I frankly was stunned to see just how many are in a Cinnabon. Cinnabon has 880 calories and 125 grams of net carbs. That is the King Kong of high carb snacks, I would have to say. Now, people think, oh, well, 2% milk, Starbucks, mocha, that's pretty benign. And this one is a 16-ounce one, grande. 360 calories in that drink and 40 grams of net carbs. Now, a lot of people suck these down like they're water. And basically, these highly contribute to the obesity problem because people don't realize how impactful these sugary drinks are. Bagels. Noah's company, so we have a reference point, their plain bagel is 270 calories and 55 grams of net carbs. That's almost twice the amount of carbs that you would have in one day. An Egg McMuffin from McDonald's, 300 calories, 27 grams of net carbs. Now, okay, let's say you're at McDonald's and you want to get something healthy. Well, let's look at their Southwest grilled chicken salad. Now, with grilled chicken, not the crispy chicken, which adds a couple hundred calories and a whole lot more carbs. So you think you're doing yourself a favor and you would assume that that's really low in carbs. Well, it's got some tortilla chips in it, has corn in it, has some beans in it, and the salad dressing is not, it's lower in carbs, but it's not really, really low. So that salad, that little small salad that you get at McDonald's, has 320 calories and 22 grams of net carbs. So salads can be a slippery slope, and that's a really small salad if you've ever gotten one. So beware of salads because they're not as benign as they may appear. So this is an example of how much exercise you would have to do to negate a small indulgence. Well, the point is, exercise alone does not make us lose weight. It normally will make us hungry if we do it improperly, causing us to eat even more. So I'm kind of poo-pooing exercise. You might get that notion as you're listening to me. So you might be thinking, okay, should I exercise at all or am I just wasting my time? Well, let's find out. Although exercise alone, all by itself, may not cause significant weight loss, there are still a lot of good reasons to incorporate weight loss into your daily life, which we've mentioned a few of those. So if you're going to choose an exercise during weight loss, which one is the best to do so that it's more beneficial for weight loss? Well, let's talk about that. Resistance exercise versus cardio. Cardio is usually the one that is stressed for weight loss, but it really is almost counterproductive in excess for weight loss. Resistance exercise is the best type of exercise during weight loss, and the reason is if you're doing resistance exercises properly, you are building muscle. And when you are building muscle, you will burn more calories at rest. So indirectly, you are helping yourself to lose weight by creating more muscle, which again, that's why men lose weight easier than women do. They have more muscle mass. So if you can build more muscle mass, you will lose weight more efficiently because there will be a bigger deficit between what you're eating if you stick with the plan and how many calories you're burning at rest. So you'll be a more efficient calorie burner. So, what are some suggested resistance routines? Most people say, I don't have time for exercise. Well, cardiovascular exercise does take more time because you need a sustained elevated heart rate for at least 20 minutes. And if you want to burn a lot of calories, you have to do a routine for an hour, a straight hour. And, that's a lot of time. Plus, you have to shower after that. And, it's a big chunk of your day. Well, the good news is with resistance exercise, it doesn't take much time. You can start out with 10 minutes a day, and you will basically benefit yourself dramatically in that short little period of time because you're doing little bursts of exercise and not sustained exercise. So you want to aim for the weights or the resistance bands or the pulleys or your machine at a gym, whatever you're using, to be heavy enough or difficult enough that you can only achieve 8 to 12 repetitions. If you're about to drop that weight or let that pulley loose at 8 to 10 repetitions, that's the right amount of weight for you. So if you can do 20 without having any effort, it's too light and you're just toning. You're not building muscle in that fashion. So you want to do 8 to 12 repetitions, hard enough that you can barely do them, and then repeat that for a set of 3. And that's it. If you want to pick your arms one day, your legs another day, your abdomen another day, your back, basically you don't have to do 10 minutes each. You can rotate them. You don't want to do the same muscle groups every day anyway because your muscles need to rest. So 10 minutes. Everybody can carve out 10 minutes in a day. And some suggested initial resistance exercises that you can do is using TheraBand, the stretchy bands that you get at physical therapist's office, or you can order them online. Over-the-door pulleys, stretchy bands with handles, free weights, kettlebells. There are a number of gym machines that you can purchase. Bowflex is pretty famous one if you have the money for that. Total Gym or Total Body Works, which is a Total Gym knockoff that's a whole lot less expensive. You can participate in yoga, Pilates. There are a number of resistance exercises, and if you need to purchase any inexpensive equipment for home, look at our online store. There is a section for exercise equipment to give you some ideas. If you can't find it locally, you can order it online. I've tried to select all various price ranges so that it should basically match your budget, what you can do without having to go to a gym, which again, even if you have the money to go to a gym and have a nice gym membership, it takes time. So this whole video is designed to show you how you can exercise, how to exercise as well with little or no equipment and little or no time. YouTube is a fantastic wealth of information for a lot of things and a great source of entertainment actually. But in this case, it has a wealth of free exercise instruction videos. You just go on their search box and you can type in whatever kind of exercise you want to do, whether it's Zumba or disco or hip hop, dancing, or whatever obscure thing that you can come up with. You can bet there are thousands of videos in that genre. So just look up whatever type of exercise appeals to you. And there will be videos that will show you how to do it. Yoga, Pilates, you name it. You just simply save the ones that you like to your account, or if you don't have an account, simply save it as a bookmark or export it as a PDF on your computer so you can find it again and make a little folder on your computer for exercise videos. If you are a ZooTube member and it's free to sign up, just simply save them as one of your favorites. But you can get some great videos to help you that are free with this method. Here's a couple of them that I've found that are kind of fun. So just look up abdominal exercises, crunch variations, and you will get this website. And this young man is showing you how to do crunches properly. On the right, there's a disco mix. It's called a dance walking type of video. And it's a lot of fun. And there's a little dog there in the picture that's kind of entertaining too while she's dancing. So, again, there are many, many free videos that can help you with your exercise efforts and give you ideas. If you want to incorporate some cardio or aerobic exercise as well, here are a few suggestions. If you have time for this, it is helpful in the long run in your life, but again, it is not necessary for weight loss. But it is great exercise for all the other reasons that we discussed. So you could initially just walk at a brisk pace, level at first, then you can incorporate hills. You can use a treadmill, get an elliptical machine. Again, on our website, on our online store, there's a really inexpensive one that I have in my own home. It's called Stamina in Motion, takes up very little space. You can get a bicycle, stationary or a conventional one. Participate in Zumba, dancing. These are all great cardio or aerobic exercises. Now, you can also participate, and in a less amount of time, you do some good aerobic work and burn a few more calories actually if you do high intensity interval training. And I'll just briefly talk about that, which is let's say you're on an elliptical machine. You want to run as fast as you can, as hard as you can for about 30 seconds, and then stop and walk at a very slow pace for a couple of minutes. And if you rotate that over the course of 10, 15, 20 minutes, you will have much more significant exercise and actually burn more calories if you do high intensity interval training. So in terms of cardio exercise, I would simply have a goal of 15 to 20 minutes 3 times a week initially, then gradually advancing as tolerated to either daily or just increase the amount of time that you spend on the 3 times a week. So again, if your time is limited, if you're doing high intensity interval training while you're doing some cardio, typically cardio activity, you will get a lot more bang for the buck with that. So if you're walking, if you can walk as fast as you can or even run as fast as you can for 30 seconds and then walk for 2 minutes and then basically do that cycle for a 15-20 minute period, it's about the same as if you had run consistently for half hour, 45 minutes. So you will get more results if you do that in a less period of time. And again, youtube.com, many, many dance videos and other group aerobic exercise videos that you can use for free. Remember those Jane Fonda and a whole bunch of other, Cindy Crawford and all sorts of other exercise videos that you used to have to pay for? You can see innumerable ones now for free. A lot of them quite entertaining actually. And you don't have to leave your home, pay a trainer, go get dressed, take a shower in the gym, none of that. You can do it at home. So again, to review, cardiovascular, or otherwise called aerobic exercise, will definitely improve your blood pressure, your cellular response to insulin, improves your mobility, releases endorphins, which makes us feel better. But again, it is not directly helpful in losing weight per se, but can be indirectly helpful, especially in maintaining your weight. It helps you to not gain weight, more so than lose weight. An important point is when you first start this diet, you'll be switching from carb burning to fat burning. Well, it takes a little more time to build up fat stores than it does with carb stores. So you will not have very much stamina in the first 3 to 4 weeks of this diet. You'll feel like you're really wimpy. You'll be 5 minutes into an activity that you normally could do for an hour and completely lose steam. Well, keep pushing yourself to do as much as you can, and your body will catch up with producing more fat for fuel more efficiently. And after a month, you really won't notice any difference in your exercise ability from prior to the diet. Actually, most people find that they have much more stamina because you're not relying on carbs. So just keep that in mind your first 3 to 4 weeks. I would hold back on really vigorous exercise until you're about 3 to 4 weeks into the diet. Now, a word of caution. If you overly exercise, you will be hungry, guaranteed. So let your weight loss specialist, if you're working with us, know if that's occurring, and then we can adjust your exercise to avoid overeating. If you're doing this entirely on your own, you still need to cut back on your exercise some so that you're not overeating because you're overexercising. You also will need to time your exercise between meals. So if you space your exercise between, let's say, breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner, or dinner and snack, then you will not be exercising on an empty stomach, and really is something you should never ever do, because your body will not be able to produce all the fat for fuel that it needs for vigorous exercise. Some will need to come from glucose. And if you're not eating carbs, which you're not in large amounts, then the body will convert protein into glucose. So, how it does that, again, we've talked about this before, is by the process of gluconeogenesis. So, you want to have some protein on board before you exercise and after you exercise, so that you can have some fuel before the exercise, that protein that you're ingesting can turn to the small amount of sugar that you need for your exercise, and afterward, so that if you did lose any muscle, you are replacing it with the building blocks of muscle, which is the protein. It helps with recovery. And so if you don't do this and your muscles waste, again, your metabolic rate will then go down in spite of you exercising, and you'll be muscle wasting in spite of exercise. So all that hard work will be for naught. And also, when protein is turned into glucose, your blood sugar goes up and insulin gets released. You get hungry, you start craving, and anything you eat at that point will be stored as fat. So, again, avoid exercising on an empty stomach. I know some trainers for quite some time now have told people exercise on an empty stomach, you'll burn more fat. That is pure poppycock. So, the remedy for this is time your meals, or time your exercise between meals, number one. Or if you can't because of your schedule, at least have half a protein bar and the other half after, half before, half after your exercise. Protein shake, similarly. A light protein based snack, at least within an hour of exercise, and save some for after. Or at least eat within an hour or two after you exercise. If you're considerably hungry after exercise, again, if it's not time for you to eat, then have your meal or a snack sooner, and you'll recover easier. You can also increase your daily protein amount if you're consistently hungry after exercising, because you simply might just need more protein. Otherwise, you could reduce your intensity of exercise, which most of us don't want to do if we get to that level. So simply add an extra 15 to 20 gram portion of protein a day if you're exercising at least 30 minutes vigorously every day. It's a good strategy for muscle recovery and to avoid hunger. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, because no one is examining you and making sure that you're fit to do exercise if you're doing this self-directed program. So, if you develop chest pain, chest pressure, shortness of breath, nausea, get sweaty, feel like your heart rhythm is irregular, feel like you're lightheaded, going to pass out, you need to stop that activity immediately. If those symptoms return, then you need to go to the emergency department for an evaluation. Basically, you can have heart disease and not know it. So these are all symptoms of that might be provoked by vigorous exercise. So keep that on your radar. The other thing that I need to mention is, again, this diet has a diuretic effect. So before you exercise vigorously, be sure to have something salt containing to keep your sodium levels up, because you can deplete your sodium while you're exercising and feel like you're going to pass out. So make sure that you have a salty drink. Actually, what often is a great strategy is you can buy some Nuun, N-U-U-N, electrolyte tablets, or you can buy Powerade Zero, not regular Powerade because it has tons of carbs in it. But Powerade Zero is an electrolyte drink that has zero carbs, and you can drink that before and after your exercise. All right, guys, we've just learned about how to exercise while on a low-carb way of living, And we've just completed Module 11. So let's, after a break, move on to the next one. All right, we'll see you at the next video.